Welcome back to the Tide Here Hanger. This is Mike, and I'm coming at you with a weekly news and review for May 26, 2024. We are smack dab in the middle, or sort of at the tail end, of a holiday weekend, Memorial Day weekend, and I hope everybody's doing well. And I want to say thanks to everybody that's actively serving, protecting our country, and everybody that has served in the past. And always remember those who've made the ultimate sacrifice. But getting into this, there's of course some Transformers news, some cool stuff that a little overdue in my opinion. There's a bit of a sneak peek at this leak of a Technodrome. Nobody's got any details. We're thinking it's $80. It's just kind of a shadow listing on Amazon. We'll talk a little bit about that. Then there's some more superpower stuff going on, and they got some good pictures. Pretty cool next wave, but too much of it's more of the same. And then we're going to talk about some thing getting made by Jada Toys. Should be out, before October? Around to October? So before Halloween. And then we're going to talk about some Star Wars news, but shouldn't we call Star Wars olds? We're going to talk about Star Wars olds because there's nothing really new. We'll talk about this some more. Coming up! Alright, first off, let's talk about what's new at Show Z, and they've got the next wave of the Jada Toys 1/12 scale Street Fighters. Up for pre-order, it's DJ, Guile, and Cammy, and I've got them all pre-ordered. Yes, they are about $8 more than if you find them at a Target, and that's because they get them from a third-party supplier. They don't get them directly from Jada, but they don't have the first two they came out with, and so that's what's offered up here. They've already sold out on their dolls, and if you find it at Target or you get it on BBTS or something like that cheaper, great. But this is just an option for you. It's out there. Remember, TH Reviewer Code. And yes, I will be reviewing every single one of these through Show Z, or this is technically Gundam It. Next up, we have the Cyan Culture. It's the 6-gun and the Scamper. Set of 2. No price yet. I'm expecting them to be reasonable, but if you want to go with your Metroplex that they've already made, then there it is. It would have been nice if they were previously included, but I thought it was a pretty good price point for what you got with this figure with the Metroplex, so I imagine these will be relatively priced well. Expecting an early July 2024 release. Alright, so the biggest news in the Masterpiece, there's not a ton of Masterpiece stuff, but there's some really cool stuff this week, is the MPU Ultra. It's the 01 thrust. Now, there's a question about, is this actually like the deformation space, people behind that making this? I don't know. Nobody knows. There's a ton of speculation out there, but nobody really knows. Anyway, this is kind of cool. I don't see it up for pre-order yet on like Show Z or any other place, but usually Show Z is on top of this kind of stuff, or getting the pre-orders out there for something like this. Pretty interesting overall. It looks pretty good. It does feel more Takara, in my opinion, like more like the Takara design than it is like the deformation space design. But then again, getting it in hand, we'll find out whether that's true or not, how different it is. I think it looks great. I think it looks good. I'm kind of happy with what Make Toys did, but I am liking this one also. Here is the alt mode right there, and yeah, it looks pretty good. They are, of course, this is a prototype. They're still going to be working on making things change, different stuff. It's not carved in stone just yet, but it's getting pretty darn close. But I think it looks good. I think it looks great. And interesting to see how this turns out. Obviously, if you get this one, then there's going to be the other two coming down the road, and we can look forward to all that. Alright, this is the MPM movie series 15 Brawl from Simon Ann? Is that what it is? Simon Animar on Baidu. Anyway, this is some pretty cool pictures of this Brawl, and it looks pretty good. It does look pretty good. And here's the alt mode. I mean, just what you expect. I actually don't collect these. I'm not going to be buying this or reviewing it or anything like that, but I still think it looks pretty cool. I do feel like when it comes to the Bayverse kind of stuff or the live action movies, the alt modes are really, really on point, and they're the best part of those. But anyway, good looking MPM if you're into this. Alright, so here are some pictures of X-Transbots, and this is their Paragon. Extra Spot's take on the first aid figure, and it does look pretty good. And the thing about it is, of course, you're not going to have the right color scheme to it yet. They're still with the prototypes, and that's kind of how that looks. But let's see what the alt mode looks on this pretty clean looking bot. And there's the alt mode, which I don't really know why the picture looks like this, but that's how the picture looks. And yeah, still in that silver color because it's the prototype color. There will be more paint, and as you can see, there's going to be some clear windows with paint accents on them. And so I'm kind of expecting this entire thing to be painted, so it'll be kind of interesting to see how that goes. And although I don't think it's worth the time, money, and effort to go into making sure it has opening doors and stuff, they're still doing it. If they want to do it, I think it adds a little complexity sometimes, but if it doesn't add a complexity or make it have more breakage points, that's my biggest concern. Breakage points, especially with that clear plastic. But anyhow, there it goes. That's where they're at so far. All right, so this is a third-party MPM scaled. It's interesting how they called it MPM. M26 tank transporter OP via Anofire on Weibo, and this, it's an interesting take of a prime. Another week, another prime. Well, there's 2 primes this week. I think one of them was actually around last week, but pretty cool, pretty interesting. Let's see what this tank mode looks like, and that's the sort of tank mode. And this might be one of those that's worked in as a G.I. Joe crossover, maybe, possibly. Not a lot of info on it, but there it is. Pretty cool. There's one thing that's supposed to be from the art of Don Figueroa, and it's Dragon Wagon. Alright, so this one is the T01 Optimus via Shintu Toy Box on Weibo. It's a KO oversize of the Earthrise Optimus Prime, no trailer. And when I first saw this, I said, why? Like, who wants this? Oddly enough, I don't think it looks that bad. That Earthrise was pretty decent overall. I think they made some changes, like tucking the wheels further into the wheel well. As you can see, that's a different change. They've altered, giving the entire lower legs blue, cleaning up the thigh pieces a bit. So taking what was already done with Earthrise and cleaning it up. Starting to make me wonder, though, is this what we're going to get in the main line? Is this what we're going to be getting with the Studio Series Optimus Prime? Are they just going to build off of the Earthrise and clean it up to this level? They might. This might be what we're getting. That's why I kind of wanted to showcase this. But the even weirder, odder thing, instead of making it Masterpiece scale, they made it above Masterpiece scale. I don't think it's quite as big as the Pangu, because Pangu's 18 inches. So you've got about a 9.5 inch tall MP44. So this thing is about 12 inch. So I don't know why they went 12. It's strange, interesting, but there you go. Alright, so we got pictures of the New Age H63 Goro Legend Scale Slag. It's Slag, it's not Slug. Anyway, prototype images here, and it looks pretty good. It's the cartoon version. I'm going in on the toy version. I want the chrome, I want the toy look, but I understand people want the cartoon look, and having a cartoon look and still the New Age level of paint is really great. It comes with all the accessories shown here, and looks pretty good. We're knee-deep in a 2.0 Dinobot War of Legends. That's crazy, but yeah, we've got Magic Square doing their stuff too. Also in Legends news, we have got Iron Factory with their take on, what are we calling this one here? Samurai Series IF-EX74 Reikai. Anyway, so it looks pretty cool, pretty interesting, and if you're into this kind of stylized look, I mean, this is one of the better looking ones in my opinion that they did in the Samurai version, and of course it comes with a sword, and that yellow pops, and yellow is tough. And there's the alt mode. It is also stylized too, but it looks pretty good for a Sunstreaker if you're interested in getting this. And if you're in on the Iron Factory stuff, then I'm pretty sure you're going to be picking this up. And of course the New Age Dwalin, Ballin, and D-Wallin is shipping. It's their take on Huffer Pipes, and I got mine, well, I don't know. I think I've got to pay for mine and get them shipped out. But they're coming into stock at places and going out. Probably see a lot of reviews of these things. Be interesting to see how it stacks up next to the Magic Square. Yellow Park is putting out more of their AMK minifigures. They kind of build the little kits, and they're making a blue A Blue Prime. I saw another one. I'm not finding it right now, but I'll probably talk about it later. I think these are cool. They're interesting, but I don't know if I'm going to go any deeper than buying that first set. Pretty cool, though, if you're interested in these and you want to get it a little bit bigger than Legend Scale. So it looks like Toys R Us on YouTube has got his hands on one of the new Studio Series SS8629 Deluxe Bumblebee. In-hand images on the very left is the Origins one that was a Target exclusive. I don't know if it's coming out as a Target exclusive again, but it's coming out. It's getting reissued. The one on the right is the one that was part of, I don't know, was it Earthrise or something along those lines? Still, I kind of looking at it, I think it does look like it's the best version that they've made so far, and it looks pretty good. A lot of people don't like the alt mode. I can give or take the alt mode, but yeah, I guess it's a pretty decent Bumblebee overall. And there's the alt mode if you're interested. It does still kind of look like a mini racer, a little more squared off and angled on the windshield, the sides, that kind of stuff. But yeah, it gets the job done. Alright, so we're getting is it Treads? A Treads figure for Generation Select. This is coming to us via Yetsatron and Transmini. I think that the Warpath was great. I think they did a good job on the Warpath. It was an update. I think we had one like 10, 12 years ago. Then they made one a few years back in, was it probably the Kingdom line? And I think they did a good job on it. So this is just a recolor of that, which is still pretty cool. I'm not too familiar with the character of Treads, and I don't know if I got like was it a G2 or something along those lines, but still really kind of cool. It says something inspired by the eHobby G1 Warpath Redeco from 2003, but I still don't know a whole lot about Treads, but I think this is a pretty cool looking figure. Now, I've seen repaints worse than this, but I'm just kind of curious though, how well will this sell? And the reason I say that is because they're making it Generation Select, and it's because it's something a little bit more obscure. They don't have a whole lot to lose because they're just literally just remaking this thing, having the exact same mold for the most part, and different colors. So that's perfect. That's exactly what Generation Select's for. It won't clog up shelves, won't clog up pegs, and people are going to get it if they want it. Alright, we got pictures of the Studio Series 86 Dead Brawn Ratchet 2-pack in-hand images via Mellow Shade, and this is pretty cool. So Brawn and Ratchet, if you want to get them in their dead form. Also, let me just be honest with this. I'm not a huge fan of buying all these in the dead form, but I think it is kind of cool that they're offering it, and I definitely will pick them up on a sale. I'm not going to go out of my way to get them or anything, but on a sale. I think they look good, pretty cool stuff. I did get the previous 2-pack, but those went on sale for like 15 bucks. Now this is a $30 figure and a $25 figure, and I'm not even 100% sure what the price point is on these, but probably around 50 or 60, something along those. Does that sound about right? Anyway, that is the Dead Brawn Ratchet 2-pack. Curious what's next. We got pictures in hand of Vector Prime from No Trab, who seems to get a lot of these things early and get some good pictures out there, so that's pretty cool. And that's what he looks like next to that Prime there. And that is it Armada? This is Legacy United, but is it the Series Armada? Here we go with the alt mode, and the alt mode looks pretty cool. Looks pretty good. I'm wondering, is that clear on the wingtips, or is that just a different shade of blue? It looks kind of clear to me though. And then of course it does have that key in it, that key that goes in there. So pretty cool stuff if you're interested in Vector Prime. Alright, so here we are with the Transformers Legacy versus multi-pack in-hand images with the Cyberverse Tarn G1 Squeeze Play, Transformers Prime Cliffjumper, and Beast Wars Tarantulas. So another Tarantulas, Kingdom Tarantulas retooled. And this picture is another one from No Trab, and just a pretty good picture, seeing what it's about. But I don't think this set's for me. I think I'm probably going to pass on it. I don't know if you guys remember this Mattel Creations Optimus Prime. It's a Hot Wheels scale, 1/64th scale, I think is what the Hot Wheels scale is. And it sold out in like 30 minutes is what I hear. I wasn't planning on buying it, so I didn't really care. But cool, it looks cool, it's interesting. I'd have been in at like 30, But if it sold out for 80, I guess they had it priced right. Super 7's putting out a recolor of their Unicron. It's just a recolor for whatever reason, and it's pretty cool, pretty interesting. I didn't pick up the first one. I should have, though. I should have picked up the first one, and I should have picked up their Devastator. But, I never saw them in person, and just, I don't know, I just don't order the reaction stuff online. So I missed out on that. I'll miss out on this one, too. This is based on the original G1 prototype, of course, scaled down to reaction size. There's a lot of weird stuff this week. The officially licensed Transformers 1 Orion Pax backpack and pencil case found in Mexico. So cool stuff. If you're into this, do kids even know who Orion Pax is? I guess they will, due to the fact that this Transformers 1 movie show is going to happen. Another strange thing that's being sold this week or talked about this week is the Hot Topic having a Sales 1 Transformer Optimus Prime and Bumblebee best friend necklace. And there's also a Starscream necklace. Weird stuff. Then there's an earring set. So you can get some Decepticon earring set if you're into that, or if, yeah, whatever. Whoever's into it can have it. Cool. And they have Transformer-inspired game controllers. This is from GameStop Candy Con X Transformers controller custom kits. Available for pre-order, and it's kind of interesting. They say you can get it at GameStop. I don't even know what a Candy Con controller is, but you can customize it to be Transformer, or just get it as a Transformer controller. Lastly, there's something that probably should have been in the Legends section. Not even sure exactly where these would scale, but this is the Blokies Sharkticon, and this is something that you'd want to troop build probably. People would want to troop build. This is just kind of a bit of a teaser for an upcoming Blokies Sharkticon. Definitely not at the end stages, done, finished, and complete yet, but pretty cool, pretty interesting. It looks cool. I know they don't transform, but I haven't gotten any of these, but everybody that's picked them up that collects the Blokies, they like the Blokies, and they'll like the Sharkticon too. So I've seen a lot of these videos where people watch the 1986 Transformers movie and then they give their reactions to it, and some of them are kind of fun, and some bash it and say it's the worst movie they've ever seen, it's so horrible, terrible, but some of them really like it. I kind of had fun watching this one this past week. This is a YouTuber called Dos Cavazos, and anyway, she had a lot of fun. It was interesting because she was introduced by the 2007 movie, then watched this, but there's probably about 20 or 30 of these that I've seen pop up in the last year of people watching the 86 movie for the first time, and they're pretty popular videos. I'm sure most of y'all have seen them, but I'm curious if anyone else has seen these, if you like these, if you love these reactions, hate these reactions. It'd be interesting to find out below. Now, if you ever wanted to see the Kotobukiya statues come to life, well, here they are. I guess they inspire some cosplay. I'm not gonna lie, something about this cosplaying going on here almost looks like there's some AI whatever going on, but they did a great job of almost exactly matching the Kotobukiya statues. All right, we're gonna transition from the Kotobukiya statues inspired cosplay to Ghost in the Shell Hiya Toys Motoko Kusangi figure. This I never played the Ghost in the Shell game, but I've seen the game on the shelves a lot back in the day. This figure stands 5.7 inches tall, is fully articulated in 3 interchangeable portraits, multiple changeable hands, and it's got a rifle, a pistol, a knife, and more included, and is $90. But I think they did a pretty good job. So if you like the franchise Ghost in the Shell, or you just think it's a cool looking figure, it might be for you. Available at Entertainment Earth, Big Bad Toy Store, BBTS, or Toy Geek. Now, I'm not familiar with this Toy Geek they're talking about, so clicking over there, I found a RoboCop, 1/12 scale exquisite super RoboCop by Hiya Toys also, and pretty cool. But it is $90. It's supposed to be estimated arrival in May. I bet you can find it on BBTS Entertainment Earth, but this is one of the things that had at the top of their list. I think we've seen this before, but some of these pictures have been updated. Still kind of cool if you're interested in a RoboCop 1987 version, and maybe you're not satisfied with what Neca did. You want to give Hiya Toys a shot. On listing, there's an Amazon listing for this Technodrome, and it's not available to purchase just yet. it is $80. If they remake the original one for $80, that'd be awesome. Now, I'm not really a huge fan of what Playmates has done in the past, like putting out the original Turtles 8, 9, 10 times, but I am kind of happy that they're going to do this. I'm glad they did the van the first, second, third, fourth, fifth, and sixth time, and they're doing the van again this year. They're going to be doing the blimp again this year, but I hope this comes out exact 1-to-1. And I have a shell of one that I got real cheap, so I'll be wanting to check it out and see if I can put all these parts on the shell and do a 1-to-1. Because you can just build your vintage one up with these parts, if that's true. If not, then they like slightly tweak everything so it doesn't fit on a vintage. I can understand that being something good for vintage collectors, but I've never ponied up the money. These things run about $300 right now on eBay if you get one complete, and then varying prices from a shell being $50 to $100, depending on what's attached to that shell, and then all the way up to, of course, $300, $500 one with a box. So this is perfect for them to reissue, but it's an Amazon exclusive. It's going to be a challenge to get your hands on it. Possibly, they could possibly sell out really fast when the pre-orders go up. A lot of McFarlane stuff going on this week, but this is the Multiverse Digital Series. But you get a figure and a digital figure, and so it's $5 more to get digital, I guess, is what's going on with this, which is Adam, Green Arrow, Superman, and those are the figures. Batman is a statue. I think they all look good, and I really don't have anything against having a 1/12 scale statue in your collection, in the middle of your collection. Because it's going to be posed, it's going to look good, it'll just fit in with all the rest of your stuff. It's not going to be every single figure that you get, but still, I still don't buy them. It's just not me, but I don't see anything wrong with it. Seems like a good idea. It looks really good. The rest of those are fully articulated action figures, except for this guy, for whatever reason. So Uncle Todd announced the Wave 8 for the Superpowers line, and this is a lot of reuse of stuff again, and not very much new stuff. But the Black Manta in black instead of purple, it's cool. I want the original one, but I guess I'll have to double, triple up on this Black Manta. Hopefully I trade for it down the road or whatever. I don't know. We'll see how that goes, but I will definitely have to get my hands on this Black Manta so I can at least have that in my collection. But I'm really getting kind of worn out on Superman and Batman over and 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 over. But I guess I don't have a choice. I guess I could not buy them and say, hey, I've only got 4 of the 19 Batmans you put in this line. Did I say it right? Is it Batmans or Batmen? So, there's got to be the correct words out there for it. This is a picture from In Pursuit of Toys on Instagram. And somehow he got the pictures of the carded figures already. Maybe they were part of the presentation or something. But they do look cool. They do look interesting. But there's so many more. I mean, we don't have a back metalized Cyborg. How are you not making Cyborg? How is he not making Cyborg yet? I mean, come on. Like, that'd sell like crazy. And don't make it an exclusive. It's stupid hard to get. But anyway, cool stuff. I mean, I've got my toe in this. I'm trying to stay in it. I'm giving it all I got. McFarlane's also saying, well, they've obtained the Marvel toy license, and kind of like they've done with G.I. Joe and Transformers, and probably making tiny figures and giant figures and stuff, statues and all that kind of stuff. Not going to step on Hasbro's toes. But you know what this tells me? I kind of feel like Hasbro's looking for an out on the Star Wars and the Marvel, and just wanting to get out as soon as they can. So if they've already got McFarlane biting at this, wanting the Marvel, I don't know if he's going to touch Star Wars. I mean, it just kind of, in the back of my mind, that's how I see it. I might be completely wrong, but I kind of think Todd's trying to take over Marvel. Then you'll see all of it coming out at 7-inch. I mean, how's that going to make all these Marvel collectors feel? Same way the DC collectors felt? I don't know. But we'll see what happens. But they're saying this is not going to be taken over for Marvel Legends yet. I found this on BBTS, and I think it's really cool. It is the Wednesday's Thing radio control. Now, I did have I believe, Spirit Halloween, but I still actually don't know. I don't know. I bought it at one of the Halloween shops for $20, and you turn it on, and it kind of runs across the floor. You don't have any control over it. Being remote control, being made by Jada. Jada makes great toys. Then, yeah, I think that it's definitely a buy. I've already pre-ordered it. It should be out before Halloween, I hope. It kind of sucks if like Halloween comes and goes and you get it like November 2nd. But anyhow, it's still really cool. $32, and if you like this kind of stuff for Halloween, it's awesome. But the one I got from Spirit, like the skin like shredded off of it after a while, and it was just a worthless piece of junk after a while. Hopefully this holds up, stands the test of time. So Neca is doing some more of these interesting kind of figures. This is the American Werewolf London, Jack and David 2-pack, and it's interesting what they're doing here. It looks like you can swap body parts and stuff. You know, I haven't watched the movie, so I don't really know, but it looks like you could swap out the parts to turn him into like he got fried or something. If that's what happened, or he turned into a zombie or something. I don't even know. I'm not a huge horror guy, but this caught my attention because I thought it was really strange how they included these extra parts so you can do this with it. And yeah, so that is kind of cool. But anyhow, that's coming out this week. It is a 2-pack. You can't buy them separate. You got to buy them as 2-pack. $70 at all your favorite places to buy it. NECA's putting out a Count Dracula that's different than, I guess, another Dracula they've made. This is NECA presents the first in a series of action figures from the legendary Hammer House of Horror. Hammer has produced landmark horror since 1950s, with one of its most famous being Horror of Dracula. The film captured audiences with a mix of vivid color and all this kind of stuff. 7 inches tall. It's going to have a removable fabric cape, interchangeable heads, hands, shovel, unlit candlestick, fiery candlestick, collector-friendly window box packaging. Yeah, it looks pretty cool. And $35. I like NECA. $35. You get a whole lot with it. It's a value for what you get. All right, so we have got this. This is Sorzoic Warriors Wave 3. Pre-orders available, and they have a Javik Mosa Momosaurus Underwater Assault. We have Fei Kwan Pterodactyl Warrior Monk. We also have Kolig Shipbreaker, the Brontosaurus Viking. There's also the Sokudo Legion Raptor Samurai. And there they are. These are each $30, I believe. $29.99. You can get it at Entertainment Earth or BBTS. And yeah, it's kind of cool. Kind of feels like kind of the 90s stuff that's going on. All right, real quick, I'm going to talk about Extendar selling out. Now, I forgot all about it. Well, actually, I set an alarm, and I checked. I said, well, I don't have anything going on right now. 10:30 in the morning. I don't got anything going on. I'm going to get back doing other things. And then around 12:30, I had another alarm go off for something else. And so then I was like, what's going on? Then I remembered about this. I actually saw the email, and I thought I was too late. You know, if this was 2 years ago or even last year, I'd have been too late. It would have sold out. But this thing was up for almost the whole day. It didn't sell out till like later on in the evening. And that's a sign of the times. It's kind of a sign of the times for less people collecting, less interest. Now we're getting into less obscure. So less collectors, less obscure figure. You know, that's kind of what's going on right here, to where even a figure like this doesn't sell out right away. It's there almost all day, which is a good thing. It's actually a good time to collect this stuff because you don't have to fight for it anymore. Well, not everything. Now it's time for some Star Wars olds news. We got a repaint figure here for the Pride Collection Droids Factory RN8W revealed. I want to say this last week when I talked about an LGBTQ kind of rainbow colored version of NECA's Elvira. People said I was negative on it because I simply said that it's not for me, I'm not buying it, but if you like it, enjoy it. But that's my stance on everything, that I'm not buying it. I'm always transparent if I'm interested in it or not interested in it, but it's going to take a lot to make me even buy anything Star Wars these days, but this is a thing, and if I absolutely hated it, I wouldn't even talk about it. But if you like it, enjoy it and buy it. Now, getting into this wave 2 of the international only. So this is coming up for yakface.com reporting that they're going to be making the Black Series, what they call them, archive waves. And I think it's kind of funny because we're going to see reissues on some stuff. And we've got the archive wave here. When I see so much archive wave stuff just clogging the pegs at, Ollie's? I mean, they hit Ross, but Ross sold them so cheap, they all sold, that they can't sell for $10 at the Ollie's. That's probably why this is international only. Some people internationally had trouble getting their hands on these, I guess. I'm guessing. The only one out of these I probably would pick up, though, is the Luke Skywalker. So because Jedi Knight Skywalker is my favorite. And with that, maybe I'd be able to get my hands on it somewhere. So I was kind of excited about that. But all the rest of them, I have them and don't need them. And that's the way I see it. Okay, so the next olds. It's not news, it's olds. Reissues. This was actually a prediction by yakface.com that they're going to reissue all of these. And it's a rumor. That's what they kind of classified as rumor. We've got 3 of them. We got the Rex that has been confirmed now. We have gotten the 3 girls, the Hera, the Sabine, and yes, believe it or not, Ahsoka, for the 8th time, getting reissued. So I would assume everything else in this picture is eventually going to come, but nothing is carved in stone, nothing's a fact, and so don't count on it. But it'd be kind of cool to see it. But I have it all, so I don't need any of it. So what do Star Wars toy sites do when there's really no news? Like, that's it. That's the whole week. That's 7 days, other than Hot Toys. I don't cover Hot Toys so much, because it's like, why would I cover it? I don't collect it. I don't know anything about it at all, really, and I don't really like the 12-inch stuff. So, other than Hot Toys making some stuff, what else is there? So they write articles, and they just talk about collecting and the state of collecting now. And on Bantha Skull, there was this, my Nemesis Retro Collection has returned to its evil ways. And he just kind of goes into the fact that he goes into Targets and sees 6, 7 of these Phantom Menace sets for the Retro Collection, and points out a few things like, isn't the Phantom Menace figures, the figures themselves, are retro from 1999? They're easy to get and they're cheap to get. Why do we need them on this? And there's not much demand for it. I'm seeing there's little to no demand for this. There's a couple of YouTubers that got it and opened them and showed them off, but I feel like this might be the one thing in 2024 that is clearance super cheap. And obviously, I'm not going to give you their whole article. You have to go read it. I'm not just going to spoon feed it all to you, because you should go check out their articles. This next one is from Bantha Skull also. Problem with toxic stock. And the thing about it is that this one was written by Chris. The same thing I feel the same way. When before I even read the article, just the title told me exactly what I've known from decades of collecting, is that when you have these peg warmers clogging up shelves, you don't get new inventory in. Now that's good and it's bad, and from my perspective of all this is some of the new inventory that doesn't populate this overflows into the Ross and the Ollies during the holiday season, which can be a good thing for some collectors like myself who refuse to buy any of them for $17. And I'll only get them for $4 at Ross and Ollie's, or I'll just do without. That's my... Alright, so let me know what else is cool that's going on out there. What other cool news went on this week that I missed? Let me know in the comments below. Like and subscribe, and have a great Memorial Day weekend. Tadir Meher out.